Welcome back. So a couple years back, I had a young mother of 3 come in complaining of severe depression, fatigue, extreme muscle aches, and just complete weakness. Like couldn't do anything, couldn't get off the couch. She lived on a farm, and just going outside to watch her husband mow the field or feed the animals, that was just overwhelming to her. Emotionally, physically, all of it. Often her husband would have to actually quit his day job or come off his work during the day and come back home because he was constantly having to basically take care of all the children during the day because his wife was just so pretty much incapacitated. And they'd been to so many different doctors, and they said, she's just severely depressed. She has clinical depression. That's what's going on with her. She needs to be medicated. That's how you can get her out of the situation. But they knew better. And she knew she wasn't depressed. She knew her being seemed depressed. Her being was so weak and kind of incapable at that time. But she knew in her inner self that she wasn't depressed, that no, something's wrong with me. Outwardly she looked completely capable. She looked like she should be a strong young lady. So the doctor just kept labeling her with this depression. And one doctor did suggest that maybe her thyroid is off, or something looked a little funky there. But they did repeated tests, and they even did a trial of thyroid hormone, but nothing changed. And so she ends up at my office, and we performed more blood tests, checked all kinds of stuff, and you know what? Everything came back basically normal. Her iron was low, her B12 was low, so we got her iron levels up, we got her B vitamin levels up, and she felt a little better. Now she could walk around a little bit with the kids, but literally, if there was any kind of emotional turmoil, anything that was out of the ordinary, anything that came into her life that she wasn't expecting, she would be down for the count, and she'd be, literally subjected to her bedroom or to her couch. And the same thing would happen. Her husband would have to come back home from work, and have to just, take over all the household chores, because she would say it felt like all of a sudden there was 100 pounds that was just added to her being, and she couldn't move. It's like it was just sitting on her. So this went on, and then after a little over a year, I had been suggesting for over a year, but after about a year of them seeing me, I had been suggesting, you guys got to get your house checked for mold. This is crazy. You should not be experiencing this. Everything's showing up normally. And finally, out of desperation, they did check their home for mold. And guess what? In their bedroom walk-in closet that was next to their bathroom, the wall that was adjoining them, they found tons of mold, just crazy amount. The whole wall is basically mold, and that mold was even creeping into their flooring, into their bedroom. And of course they were shocked, and they immediately got their kids, left everything else at the house, and moved into a rental of some friends. And literally within 2 to 3 weeks, this mother of 3, who had otherwise been almost in a state of paralysis, feeling like there's a 100-pound bag on her, being at all times, was about 80% better. And she was walking around, she was doing life. She was shocked, her husband was shocked, family was shocked. It was like literally her body had been kidnapped, and someone just finally returned it to her. And now she could go about living life again. So I tell you this story because it's not an unfamiliar story, unfortunately. This is way, way more common than it's given credence for in the medical field right now. Mold toxicity is rampant, and it comes often disguised as panic attacks, as fatigue, body aches, kind of for no apparent reason, a lack of motivation out of nowhere, seizures, just feeling chronically getting sick, or allergies. But allergy tests show up normal, or just allergic to everything. And one of the most pressing issues I see is that 2 people can be living in the same home, and only one of them will actually have symptoms. So when I mention to patients that maybe they should check their house for mold, maybe they should look a little deeper, just make sure there is no mold present, nothing like that going on, or in their office space, no mold. They look at me like, I don't think it's mold, because, the wife or the husband or the kids, they're not experiencing anything. They're feeling just fine. And the deal is, depending on different detox enzymes present in our body, or in different genotypes a person may have, one person could feel like they need to go to the ER because the mold is suffocating them. And the other person is like, what is your problem? Everything's completely fine, because they feel totally normal. So it is a challenge, no doubt. Mold doesn't help any of us, but the level of irritation really depends on the human and our internal being's response to the mold. So and the differences can be vast. All right, so I wanted to give you a few things, now that you heard my story, a few simple ways that you can train your home, your house, to be a oasis of health removed from potential mold issues. So number one is we got to control moisture. This means your showers, your washers, your dishwashers, your cooking. Open up your windows, get your fans going, make sure that you're clearing the moisture being created by these activities. Otherwise, they are creating opportunity for mold to gain ground in your home. And secondly, have somebody come by and check your bathrooms, check your kitchen, check your roof, maybe once a year, every 2 years. See, is there any potential leakages or areas of weakness? Especially, if you have any chronic symptoms that don't really seem to have a particular rhyme or reason, then you really want to get somebody out there to take a good look and make sure that there isn't any places of condensation developing in your home. All right, number three, create opportunities for airflow. Open your doors, open your windows, open your closets. Get rid of wall-to-wall carpet. That is a festering ground for mold. If there's furniture that it's like right against the wall, move it away from the wall. I think number four, check your windowsills, make sure those are clear. And also, if you got like dust everywhere, guess what? Mycotoxins, that's where they live. They love dust. And every time you walk by and you click up that dust, guess what? You're breathing in, you're taking into your body those mycotoxins, and you're forcing your body to make a response to that. So, vacuum your home on a regular basis. Clear that dust. Get behind the couch, under the beds. Get all that out of your home. And if you, number five, I believe we're on. If you go around the exterior of your home, make sure that there's not, plants, grass, weeds, anything that's growing up into your walling. Make sure there's nothing that's like right up against the wall of the exterior home. Make sure there's no like pooling of water in areas. The gutters come down. Or is that all going out away from your home, or is that coming back sitting on your home? These are big things. And they're actually little things, I should say. They're little things that make a huge, huge difference over the long run if you just make sure these things are taken care of. Literally probably 90% of the time, if you do those 5 simple things consistently, you stay on top of it, the likelihood of you experiencing mold in your home is extremely unlikely. And for somebody who's experienced mold before, you know how intense it can be, how daunting, terrible it can be. So if you want to go deeper and test your home, then a great place to start is Envirobiomics, and they have what's called an ERMI test. Great test. Just it'll test a little bit of dust in your home. Costs like $200, a couple $100, and well worth it. I'll put a link in below here. And then if you want to see potentially if you actually have mycotoxins, if you are somebody who's personally coming in contact with mold on a regular basis and your body's trying to deal with it, then I would check out Great Plains Laboratory and their MycoTox profile, MYCO Tox profile. This is a urine test, great way to assess your mycotoxin load, your mycotoxin exposure, and then you'll know which particular mycotoxins are present, and then you can decide on what is the necessary remediation or detoxification support that you might need to enable your body to overcome this mycotoxin exposure. So mold illness, in conclusion, it's growing. big deal, overlooked, non-stopped, but in the background, it is one of the most common things that's causing a lot of issues in the industrialized world. So share this with your friends, your family. Make sure they have the knowledge to make the best decision for themselves and for their family. Just like we want. I want the best knowledge. If you know something about something, I want to know so I can make the best decision for myself and my family and my patients. All right, I'm Dr. Matt. Be sure to pound the like button and subscribe on your way out of here. You will not regret it. Talk to you later.